Hello and welcome back to another Warlords of Draenor boss preview. So today I'm going to be having a look at an old favourite. This time it's Gruul. Now Gruul is, on LFR difficulty anyway, not a particularly hard fight, but I do think that mechanically, while he's not got a terrible amount of stuff going on, the mechanics actually do matter and they require a decent amount of coordination, so I'm really looking forward to trying out this fight on heroic difficulty. Now then, he is just a one boss, single boss fight in the middle of a room, and it's technically a single phase fight, though he does sort of switch between using two abilities. Yeah, right then. So you fight Gruul, and he's got rage that builds up, if you have a look at his bar, and when he gets to 100 rage, he does one of the kind of main mechanics of the fight. This thing's called Inferno Slice. It's basically a giant cleave that does a shed load of damage to whoever's hit, and then of course its big cleave component will do damage split between everyone who is standing inside the cleave. So you want to ensure that players are all kind of clumped up so that they can take that Inferno Slice. Now, what does happen with Inferno Slice, though, is you get a debuff, which increases your amount of damage taken. So I would imagine that on the harder difficulty levels, what you'll want to do is have maybe 2 or 3 groups of players so you can rotate who's got that Inferno Strike debuff. Yeah, so that's what could be going on there. And then, of course, Inferno Strike will also put a little dot on you just for good measure. That's the cool stuff that's going on with Inferno Strike. One thing that's absolutely just needs to be said is that wasn't done in this attempt that you can see right now. People didn't care about that, myself included. I'll admit, I was being an idiot. So, yeah, I mean, I knew what Inferno Slice was, but I kept on just, like, looking at the fight and saying, oh yeah, he just did Inferno Slice. Huh. But no one seemed to die, so hey, it's LFR, lol. Now, Inferno Slice is done at 100 rage, so you can actually tell when it's coming. The next thing that he does, and it's actually what he's doing now, is Destructive Rampage. This is the thing that he actually just finished it there. So, he's either doing Inferno Slices when he gets to 100 rage, or he does Destructive Rampage, in which he just goes buck mad, starts, his haste increases by 50%, and he whacks shit. That's basically what that does. So, you're either dealing with clumping up for Inferno Strike to soak the damage, or surviving Destructive Rampage, in which there'll be a lot of damage going on due to his increased haste and general bashing of things. So that is the 2 big mechanics of this fight. However, there are other mechanics that are of course very important. We've got Cave In. You've probably seen this throughout the video. It's just the crap that's falling from the roof. It essentially just acts as a void zone that you don't want to stand in. So guess what? Don't stand in it. Yeah, look at that. So we next have got another thing that you probably will have noticed, which is called Overhead Slam. He does a big slam. Guess what you want to do about that? Not stand in it. Pretty simple. And then that really doesn't leave us with much else. We've got just Overwhelming Blows and Petrifying Slam to cover. Now, Petrifying Slam is the petrifying mechanic. I'm pretty sure that was a thing from old Gruul. And what he does is, he does a slam, and knocks players in a direction back, and then they start this petrification thing going on. This is something that I think I fell prey to a few times, because I was kind of reading the dungeon journal, then the group went forward. It's my fault for not really doing enough pre-preparation, but I kind of have to get this video out because I'm going to Iceland soon and won't be able to make videos. So what does Petrifying Slam do? Well, it starts the petrification process, which will do damage to you eventually, but you just slowly turn into stone. And then after a while, you explode, which does 15,000 damage to you and everyone else around you. So when he does the Petrifying Slam, what you want to do is just spread out a bit so that you're not hitting each other with the AoE that comes off it. Really, it's okay. And then finally, we have Overwhelming Blows. This is the tank debuff sort of mechanic that you have to deal with here. And what it does is it does a whole bunch of physical damage. It says in the dungeon journal to people within 10 yards, though from what I hear, it's the tank. It's strange, but basically your tanks can't stand right beside each other, or at least shouldn't stand right beside each other. I believe in this video they are kind of close to each other, so I don't really know what the tuning's like here. But what will happen with Overwhelming Blows is that it does a bunch of damage and then puts a debuff on, which increases their damage taken from the next Overwhelming Blow by 20%. So that's just your tank swap mechanic that you have to deal with. Overall, though, I've got to say this is it's like a simple enough fight, but it's pretty fun. The mechanics make sense. You've got the thing that you all clump up for, then you've got the stuff that you don't stand in, you got the thing you need to dodge away from. The tanks have got their stuff going on, the healers have got Destructive Rampage to be scared about. Overall, that just means there's lots of solid mechanics going on, really, and this is like the very first fight as well of Blackrock Foundry, so it's reasonable enough for it to be mechanically kind of simple-ish. And yeah, that's essentially all that's going on. I thought it was a fun fight, actually. I really should have been paying more attention when I was doing it, frankly, but again, sorry about that. I'll try to bring better footage in the future, maybe? Yeah, it's nice to see Gruul back, though. It's a bit strange that, you know, the mighty Gruul, who we all know about, was just the very first boss in this raid instance, but I suppose it was quite well done. And really, this fight, once it kicks into high gear, it does get a bit more interesting, you know, you got stuff to dodge, and there's things to really pay attention to, I guess. It's one of those things where you don't need a Paragons of the Claxi style fight where the Dungeon Journal is absolutely ginormous. You just need a few mechanics that are well executed and well implemented, and really that's it. You've got a fight. As long as there's some interesting questions to be made, as long as you're forcing players to react to things, then it's a pretty good job. Now, on the harder difficulties, there is more going on here, and with Mythic actually having a unique mechanic, I believe, called Flare, so we'll have to see how that plays out when we move into the full fight. But really, that's about it. I don't think I've really got any more words in this one. It's just a damn solid fight.